Hi, welcome to today's Yin Flow. For today's practice, you're gonna want a blanket, 2 blocks, and a bolster, or a pillow from your bed will work just fine. And we're gonna start on our backs. I take a blanket unfolded, so it's in a nice little square at the top of my mat. Then lower down to your back body, blocks within reaching distance. Soles of the feet press into the mat. Then allow yourself some time to adjust here as your hips, shoulders, head, all supported by the mat. Now, totally your choice. You can keep your feet at hip distance, knees pointed up towards the sky, or walk your feet wider, allowing the knees to knock in. No right or wrong, whichever version feels more relaxing for you. In Yin, you can allow yourself time to explore and adjust. And then when it feels right, find stillness. Bringing awareness back to your breath. You might start to add in some gentle movement, letting the knees fall side to side, windshield wiper either direction. Then next time knees point up towards the sky, pause there, preparing for Banasana. So it looks like a banana. Arms come overhead, opposite hand to opposite elbow. Then shimmy your upper body towards the left. As you're ready, extend your legs long and shimmy your legs towards the left. So you have a nice banana or crescent moon shape, stretching out the right side of the body. Your right heel can also cross over that left ankle if that feels good. Maybe you bring your hands behind your head like you're reclined at the beach. Again, adjust, move, and when you're ready, find stillness. Notice your breath once again. When you come to an inhale, bring your upper body back towards center, legs back towards center, and then shift your way to the other side. Upper body shimmies to the right, legs extend towards the right, maybe that left ankle cross over your right. Feeling that left hip press towards the side. Find your Banasana on this side of your body and then settle into stillness. One more breath on this side. When that's complete, make your way back towards center. You might even reach your arms overhead, toes reach opposite direction like a nice good morning stretch. Then hands come to the belly, soles of the feet to the mat for a moment, pressing that low back into the mat. Slowly, knees hug up towards your chest, hands can rest on the shins. Give yourself 3 rounds of breath here, feeling your entire spine press into the mat beneath you. When you're ready, last reclined position, soles of the feet come to the mat, and then taking your blocks to either side of your body, resting them down at a height that feels supportive, kind of towards the base of your hips. Soles of the feet come together, knees fall open to either side for reclined butterfly or cobbler's pose. Now you might adjust the height or the placement of the blocks so you feel nice and supported. Some bodies you might not need the props at all. This feels really comfortable in some bodies. My hips tend to like a little more support. So give yourself time. Adjust your low body till you find that right setting for you. Hands can rest on your belly or down on the floor like you're in Shavasana. Whatever feels more comfortable for you. As you're ready, settle into stillness. Gently bring the hands to the outer part of your legs. Use that support to bring soles of the feet to the mat, knees point back up towards the sky. Can shift those blocks out of the way. And then rolling over to either side for just a moment. Help press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Nice and slow here. Setting up for an easy seat. Take your bolster or your pillow under your hips. So you're seated right at the edge of that bolster, almost like you feel your hips kind of tilting forward, it might feel like. Hands rest on your thighs, upper arms in line with the side body, helping us have a nice long spine here. Eyes can soften or close. A little more intentional or active yin shape, I should say. Feel that nice long spine. Crown of the head reaching towards the sky. Give yourself a few deep, slow rounds of breath right here. Next breath, drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. You can even bring your right arm over the top of your head, reaching for that left ear, not cranking on the neck, but just a little pressure here. Left fingertips might reach towards the floor, or they can stay right on your thigh. Give yourself 3 rounds of breath here. Keeping your own pace and rhythm. When that's complete, bring your neck back to neutral, hands to the floor. Switch out the leg you have in front here. Then left ear drops to left shoulder. Maybe that left arm comes overhead. Adjust your chin placement to find where the stretch feels best. Then settle in for a handful of breaths on this side of your body. Next inhale, bring everything back to neutral. Then shifting so your legs are extended here, find a straddle pose. Now you can stay up on the bolster. Sometimes the bolster feels a little high for my hips, so I'm gonna bring a blanket folded under my hips. And I like both blocks and sometimes a bolster in front of me. So bring all your props with you. We'll be doing a little yoga architecture. Start with your hips lifted, either on the blanket or the bolster. Legs extended, not the widest they can possibly be, but finding a nice stretch here, a gentle stretch in the inner thighs. Soft flex to your feet. You can't see this one because Teton's there, but they're softly flexed towards the sky. Then I like to bring the blocks in front of me, knowing I'm gonna fold forward and hold this for a decent amount of time. So allow yourself to adjust your props however you need to, so you get the right height, get the right softness. Allow yourself some time to explore and adjust. When you're set up and you feel ready, settle into stillness. One more breath here. Gently lift your upper body out of the shape, removing those props. You'll want the bolster towards the top of the mat. Blocks can be anywhere off to the side that's out of the way. Making your way to your belly, you're gonna shift the blanket out as well. Start to lower down. We're coming into a Sphinx pose. So elbows will press into the mat. Low body is nice and long here. This is where I like to bring a bolster right up against my ribs so my elbows can kind of press into that bolster, relaxing here. This feels good in my body. In some bodies, the bolster feels a little claustrophobic. So if that's the case, you can get rid of it. Another option you can take if that version of Sphinx doesn't feel great to hold for an extended time. Bring one of your blocks with you and at a height that feels supportive, rest your chin on that block. Now you'll want to kind of reach your elbows forward so your shoulders are sliding away from your ears rather than really scrunched up. Give yourself some time, play with the different options, and when you feel ready, embrace stillness, eyes soft or closed, breath is nice and deep and slow. Bring your awareness back to your breath. Gently slide any props that are under your body out from under you. Lowering down to crocodile position, elbows out to either side, backs of the hands stack here. Embracing stillness for a full breath here as your body is nice and long. Then you can bend your knees, letting the heels fall side to side. Next breath, extend those legs long once more, and then press up to a seated position. Making way for our reclined twist. Bring your bolster lengthwise in front of you. Then you might want a block under your bolster. This is something you might use, you might not. So you can start here with a little ramp. I have my block at the lowest setting. Left hip hugs up to the bolster. Knees are gently stacked here. Start by walking your hands to either side of the bolster. And you could lower down here. Left cheek lowering down, a little more gentle twist. Or you can rotate your right cheek. Now adjust your ramp height, I should say. I like the block under here, but sometimes if I'm feeling a little tight, I'll release the block and let my hands kind of create that little extra oomph under my head. Play around with what works for you, what feels best in your body, and then settle into stillness. Gently backing out the way we got in. Begin to press your upper body out of the shape. Moving nice and slow. Shift so your right hip presses towards the bolster. Knees pointing the opposite direction. Walk your hands down either side. You can rest your right cheek if that more subtle twist feels good, or left cheek if that deeper twist feels best. Give yourself time and settle in here. Once again, begin to gently make your way out of that shape. Preparing for our final pose, Shavasana. You've got all the props here, so use them however you would like. I've been liking a bolster under my knees. That feels better in my low back. It can be nice and cozy to lay an entire blanket over your body, bringing in some warmth. Or it can feel grounding to have a blanket resting just over your torso. You can use it as a pillow behind your head. Allow your body to take up as much space here as feels good. Feeling the toes gently fall towards the outside. Backs of the hands resting on the floor, palms face up towards the sky. You might bring your shoulder blades out from under you just a bit, melting those shoulders into the mat. Eyes can be soft or closed. Eyebrows slide away from each other. Tongue releases from the roof of the mouth. Breathe here. I'll let you know when it's time to come out. body can remain still. If it feels good and is available to you today, you are more than welcome to stay in this place of rest. If it's time to close out your practice, bring in whatever gentle movement intuitively feels good to wake up your body. You might wiggle fingers and toes or rock your head side to side. Allow yourself to move slowly and gently as you roll over to one side and gently press yourself up to any comfortable seat, taking your time as you get here. Eyes can stay soft or closed, feeling into some gratitude for gifting yourself this time, allowing your body some time to rest. We'll close with a collective breath. Hands can stay on your lap or layer one over the other on top of your heart. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Thank you for being part of this rad community, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.